afternoon, dearly beloved. I've come here today to discuss inner city canvassing, which can prove to be rather challenging. To such a degree that during the 2008 campaign, Lynton Crosby, the Conservative campaign Pied Piper, more or less avoided the central area of London, considering it to be too unpredictable, too tribalistically Labour, and oh so too painfully fashionable. I frankly think that this was a rather short-term view, and there are many UKIP-friendly campaigns to run in central London. For instance, in many boroughs of London, UKIP unemployment in the youth area is about 22%. The education maintenance allowance has been stopped in England, so many working-class students simply can't afford to go to college now. This is an issue that I think UKIP should be taking up. Furthermore, tuition fees are now £9,000, thanks to the Lib Dems, thank you very much. Every single Labour council in London has slashed services. However, at the same time, the CEO of these councils continue to earn vast salaries ranging from about £200,000 to £235,000. It's an outrage and something that would be a very effective UKIP policy. Furthermore, in central London, we have the issue of many empty 24/7 bus lanes, which hardly ever see buses travel down them, but are a means of trying to force the car off the road. Also, we have the discussion currently taking place now as to increase the congestion charge by 15%. This proposed increase in the congestion charge, of course, is strenuously supported by the Labour Party, and we clearly need a strong and effective campaign against this. Also, we are experiencing the issue of social housing. New housing developments in London are only setting aside about 1 to 2% for social housing schemes. That means many ordinary people on ordinary salaries simply can't afford to live in central London, and this is becoming a very critical issue. We also have the issue of poor broadband access, particularly in Southwark. I am now the chairwoman of Southwark branch of UKIP, and we are experiencing very slow speeds, about 2 to 3 meg of broadband access, which is simply not acceptable for business and not acceptable for residential use either. So there are many issues that UKIP can successfully campaign for in the inner city. So the inner city is certainly worth pursuing. From 2010 to 2013, I was involved in a wide variety of campaigns in the inner city. In 2010, I contested the West Norwood and Dulwich general election, and I got 1.5% of the vote. Very small, I appreciate that. Then again, 2012, I contested the GLA. I was in West Central, but the inner area of Lambeth and Southwark got about 2%. Last year, 2013, I contested 3 local by-elections. In January, Brixton Hill, I got 2%. July, Tulse Hill, I got 3%. Then in November, Vassal Ward, I got 4%. So eventually, bit by bit, my percentage was increasing significantly to such a degree that I would be able to recover any deposit paid. So onwards and upwards, we are making moves forward in the inner city areas. And in fact, the November results were so successful. It was the best result we'd ever had in that area. And we'd also beat Tusk, the trade union socialist coalition, who are a major force in that area. Now, these areas do require intensive campaigning, intensive leafleting, intensive human contact. These people have to see our humanity in order to lessen the influence of the media hate campaign against us. Now, Mr. Crosby's dog whistle tactics won't work in the inner city because the Conservative Party are seen in the inner city as having no message for the inner city. We have a very clear message, that is, leave the EU. So we can progress successfully in these areas, but we need boots on the ground, we need the commitment of leafleting and time. Inner city campaigning can be quite challenging. I have been sworn at, shouted at, pushed. I've had things thrown at me. However, that is changing now, and I've contested 2 hustings. The first hustings I was treated a bit, we know who's this person. I was treated with some suspicion. Second hustings, my ideas were described as about the best ideas on offer during that husting. So we are now being accepted by the local electorate. The local electorate are quite happy to accept UKIP people within their midst. other issues with regard to inner city London canvassing, you do have to ensure you do have personal safety. People have to know that where you are, always keep your phone on you. I appreciate that may sound a bit over the top. However, during the course of my campaigning, I have canvassed a family and a witness protection scheme. I have accidentally walked in on a police stakeout. It's true, I have. I've also been invited in by a couple on a council estate to join them with for a cup of tea. The reason why they asked me to enter their home is that they wanted to show me a variety of automatic bullet holes left by a local gang during a spray out one evening, which they said the police and the local council showed no interest in moving them. So it's very challenging, but very, very interesting, quite surreal and Fellini-esque at times. So in a nutshell, please don't give up on the inner cities. We really do need to have more input in the inner cities, because the inner city vote will add to our PR voting with the mayoral election and the European election. And also, don't forget, a crash course on the council estate stairmaster is guaranteed to give you great legs. So I will leave you at that, and thank you very much. Bye.